Mac Geek Gab 1018 live from Las Vegas for Sunday, January 7th, 2024. Greetings, folks, and welcome to the show. Welcome to Mac Geek Gab. Normally, we take your questions and your tips and your cool stuff found, and we share them all. Right now, though, we are here. Well, two of us, Pete and I, are here in Las Vegas, and we're CES for us has already started. We've met with some companies. We wanted to talk about it. So, yes, here live from Las Vegas. I'm Dave Hamilton.
And here in frigid Las Vegas is Pilot Pete. Hey, what's up with that? We came all the way across the country to sunny, warm Southwest desert, and it's like we never left New England. But there we go.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's cold here. It's like barely 50 degrees.
All I can say
windy.
is thank God that about 4 hours before we left, I said, "Hey, S-Lady, what's the weather in Vegas this week?" And she told me, and I had to go back and unpack all my polo shirts and get some long sleeve shirts.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. So, well, the good news is we got up this morning, went over and saw the folks at Outtro who brought in a bunch of clients to a hotel suite over at the Palazzo. We went over there and we met with a bunch of those folks. And one of the ones that we met with was kind enough to give us a nice warm wool winter hat.
Yes, that's true.
You've got yours handy there.
Yeah, it's true.
So there it is. So that's Yarbo, right. The people who make automated, it's basically a robot with the ability to put attachments on it. Lawnmower, Snowblower. It'll tow stuff, like a rake, a leaf blower, that kind of. So they've put some thought and effort in it. It's really cool.
Yeah. So. The snowblower, of course, it's snowing at our homes while we're recording this for all of you. We aren't at our homes. Our better halves.
Our wives are out shoveling the driveway.
With all that.
You done yet, honey?
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, I was able to show the Yarbo folks a live stream of my Ring camera that showed Lisa with our snowblower, our drive it yourself snowblower in the driveway. While we were learning about their automated robot snowblower. This thing, it was, let me pull up my notes here and make sure I have it right, but the Yarbo snowblower, it's like $6,500 for the robot with the snowblower attachment.
And all the smarts to it.
And that's the one with all the smarts.
Two. Yeah, there's one that's also just remote control.
Correct.
But,
so right, there's two versions.
Yeah.
Pricing, it was unclear on the less expensive version, but the $6,500 gets you fully automated, very similar to what you would get with a robot vacuum cleaner. It does mapping and it will run without any intervention and just kind of do its thing. There is a
charge itself.
It'll go back and charge itself. There is a less expensive version. And I don't know how less expensive it is. We don't have that data in front of us here. They weren't really clear on it there either, so they may not even know. But that one is remote controllable, so you can sit in the warmth of your house and drive it around your driveway. And it has cameras and GPS in it, so it will figure everything out. But you still have to control it and tell it where to go. So
right.
I think most people would want the one that does it itself, because the idea is it starts going once you've got about an inch or two of snow on the ground, and it goes and does your driveway with your inch or two of snow, and then it goes back and it recharges itself, and it can do a full recharge. A full recharge for them is from 10% to 80%. It can do about 6,000 square feet on its 80% charge, which is fine.
Right.
And it can fully recharge from 10 to 80 in about an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's about 90 minutes.
Yeah, maybe 90 minutes. So the cool part about that is that you don't wait until the snow finishes. You just let this thing keep going.
Plow with the storm.
And I think the lawnmower is built to function the same way. You just have it kind of
That's my
mowing your
understanding.
lawn
It maintains
daily.
your lawn.
Right, it maintains it.
And because my hang up with one of those has always been where we are now, we've got almost 2 acres of land. a lot to mow. And he's like, and he ran across the numbers. He essentially said, you can handle up to about 9 acres with our mower. I mean, this is no, I don't like to put it like this. It's no consumer grade piece of crap. It is a robust, I would call it a prosumer piece of equipment. Yeah. That it's going to do the work. It's not limp. It's not built like cheap.
No.
crap.
Oh no. This is yeah. So
really
sure.
impressed to see that. So, and thank you for the winter hats. We will be using.
Yeah, we'll use those this week. That's right. Yeah, they knew their audience well for sure.
Right.
Yeah. So, all right. What do we have next here? I got to find our agenda. Yeah, my computer is not
the
happy.
first people we saw were Kenyon, Kenyon, and they do indoor and outdoor grills.
Yep.
And those were pretty impressive. They're DC powered, 48 volts for the indoor grill. Was it also? No, it was 240 volts out for the outdoor grill. The big, looks like a great big Weber grill.
But it's all DC powered.
All DC powered. You can plug it into your AC current, and they had an inverter, to step it up to 240 DC. But this grill is so well thought out. It was really amazing. One of the most impressive things to me was one of the last things I saw was that even at the height of grilling with this thing on and grilling steaks or chicken or what have you, you can touch the top of the grill.
Yeah.
They've got a Venturi system in there that keeps the airflow, that keeps the top of that grill from getting too hot and causing injury, for lack of a better word. But the thought that they put into the grill shape and the grate, and I said, no, this is great. And pun not intended, but it came out with,
pun
with a good
acknowledged.
one.
Yeah.
And he talked about how it caramelizes the food. It isn't the flame and the charcoal, but it's the food being caramelized as the juices come off the meat and explode in the superheat and come
it's
up.
fully even heat because of the way the heating element is. So all of the things that we're talking about here, we have seen. Some of them we are going to do bespoke YouTube videos for. I think this is one we might, even though it's not like, it doesn't link with your iPhone yet. My guess is that's coming in a future version. Like, it seemed like this would be a good thing to maybe link with your phone. But this one, it's worth seeing based on the way that they kind of engineered this so that the heating element is right there under your food, but it never touches your food, and it remains completely isolated from it, so it'll stay clean and all of that.
Yeah,
stuff.
it'll never have food hit it.
Yeah,
it's in a channel, and they've put a lot of thought and effort into this. The price point on that, it was rather high, as I recall. It was around $5,000.
Yeah.
So it isn't ready for most people's backyard yet.
Right.
But that's that's how this stuff goes, right? I mean, the first plasma TV that was 48 inches was a $16,000 TV. Now you can't even get plasma because they're
Correct. Yeah. It's old. That's ancient technology now, Pete. That's right. Yeah. So. We went and saw this company called Vasco that creates a translator. It's translator earbuds, right? They have taken it to another level, and there is the earbuds that you put in. You can put one in your ear and one in someone else's ear, and in fact, you can have up to 10 of them going simultaneously, translating an entire conversation audibly and on your phone in 10 different languages simultaneously. People talk. Everyone hears it in their chosen preferred language in their ears, and the conversation just sort of happens. It's we can do this with one person with our phones right now, which is amazing that we can even do that now with with the devices that we generally have in our pockets. The folks at Vasco take it to a whole other level. It's really it's spectacular how well this works.
And they had another device there. Was that called the 4, Dave? It almost looked like a thin touchscreen cell phone, but all it did was it has, when you buy that, you get the data plan with it.
Yeah,
you don't have to be connected to data anywhere in the world.
Right. In order for the earbuds to work, your phone they need to be connected to something that's also connected to data.
Right.
And that can be your phone, or you can get this upgrade. The earbuds are about $350, and then it's another $200 for their base unit, if you will,
right.
the version 4, or the V4, whatever they kept calling it.
Right.
But that then comes with its own data plan that they say is lifetime data for that unit. So you don't have to worry about data in another country just to have the
ability to translate
correct
conversation. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So that was really cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. They say the V4. I'm looking on their website right now. That is $331 if you buy it standalone.
Okay.
And then I think they said it was going to be $549 as like a package with
with the earbuds.
With the earbuds, that's right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
But that was amazing to watch it translate. The gent who demonstrated it to us was speaking Polish. It translated to English for Dave in his ear and to Spanish on his phone simultaneously.
Right.
It was incredible to watch
it
that
just
happen
worked
as quickly as it did.
Yes. Yeah, and whichever one of us spoke in whatever language we spoke, it just picked it up and went with it.
Right. And in fact, I threw some pidgin Japanese at it for lack
that's
of a
right.
better word.
Oh, yeah.
And it picked it right up and went, okay, this is what you said. I'm like,
yeah.
Wow, that is what I intended to say. So
yeah. And all this stuff, like I said, we will do videos on some of these things that you'll see on our Mac Geek Gab video, like our YouTube channel. We'll put a link to that in the show notes, but it's just,
right.
youtube.com/@MacGeekGab. But we'll also put links to all these things in the show notes as you expect. I guess I should say one thing. This is Mac Geek Gab 1018 for Sunday, January 7th. Mac Geek Gab 1017 says that it's for Monday, January 8th. It will already have been released. It was for Monday, January 8th. And then we decided to do this episode, so we pushed out 1017 a little early. So it's fine. It's fine. While we were waiting to talk to the folks from Vasco,
we decided to waste some time.
That the folks at Outtro were like, go check out this OClean company.
Yeah, okay.
OClean.com. Yeah. So we did.
Okay.
Right.
Well, we'll kill some time.
They make a smart toothbrush. Okay,
Who
fine.
needs a smart toothbrush?
We've talked about them on the show. Like, it's interesting. But the ones I've used have all been Bluetooth. And, just like a Bluetooth scale, you have to have your phone open in order to sync with the thing. And, it's always a little bit of an ordeal, if you will. Well, the new OClean toothbrush is Wi-Fi. So it's constantly syncing your data. Even better than that, though, it gives you all the feedback while you're brushing, which is great.
You're pushing too hard. You're going too fast. Yeah.
Yep. But then when you're finished, it shows you both on your phone and on the toothbrush. And this will definitely do a video for us so you can really kind of dig in and see. But it shows you a diagram of your mouth and where you did good and where you didn't do so good.
Right.
Yeah.
And it uses basically bone
conduction.
Bone conduction. Thank you. Technology to talk to you.
Yeah.
No one else brushing too hard.
No one else hears what it's saying, but you do. Yeah, exactly. And it's $130.
Right. And it's got a brushless maglev motor inside it. And the battery life they've a couple different ones. One is 30 days battery life, which is great in and of itself. And then they have another one that is not quite as advanced as the Wi-Fi one. It has a 180-day battery life on it. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't take my electric toothbrush on the road because I don't want to pack the charger to go around with me as well. And one that's going to last 6 months between charges. Okay, yeah. I'm good with that.
It's pretty cool.
I was really astounded to see. Yeah.
Same. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, we'll dig more into that. $130, and it links with Apple Health. Yeah. So it's like they've already done that work for us, which is great. We love that.
So I ask again, who needs a smart toothbrush?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll take one. That's awesome.
Yep. Of course, none of this would be possible without our CES 2024 coverage sponsors. We've got 3 companies on board this year. and I'm trying to bring up the graphic for it, which is why I'm.
There you go.
Oops,
I
took
it off.
You do it. That's fine.
I was trying to do it, and then I took it off.
It's great, and I know this show's audio for the most part, but it's Carbon Copy Cloner, Mac Updater, and Collide are our CES 2024 coverage sponsors, and our sincere thanks to them for
all of you for helping us to
making
get out
this
here and
happen.
bringing this stuff to you.
Yeah. It's truly amazing. There's links in the show notes for it, but just go tell them thank you. That's really the thing I would love to just like. Of course, if the product that they make is something that fits for you, even better. But go check out their site, tell them thank you, and tell friends about them. If it's if one of these things isn't for you, tell somebody about it. But there's links in the show notes for each of them, and our sincere thanks. CarbonCopyCloner.com/MGG. Collide.com/MGG, that's Collide with a K, and corecode.io/MGG for Mac Updater. So 2 more things, Pete. One of them is a company we saw last year, eSight.
Yeah.
That
was cool.
Yeah. You want to tell them about eSight?
Well, yeah, so there's now don't get old. It's bad for your memory. I can't remember the gent's name who was standing there. Do you remember his name now?
I don't know which one you're talking about.
The tall gentleman who was legally blind.
Yes.
So anyway, I remember talking to him last year, and I was so touched. He saw he's legally blind, saw his children's face really for the first time through this technology. And they've made some huge improvements on it. It's much lighter now. I think it said 160 grams. I was able to put one of these on, and I don't have the best vision in the world, hence I wear glasses. I could not see a sign with a naked eye that was a better part of 2 miles away from where we were in the hotel. Put this thing on, and I was able to zoom right in and read the sign on the side of the building, and that doesn't seem like much. This is a gent who's legally blind who can now read to his children, who can read the sign on a building across the street.
He showed he was able to go to a baseball game and actually watch the baseball game.
Watch the ball game. And the video stabilization that's on this now, he said, has made it so much nicer. There's less feeling of jitter, and which I assume would bring some level of nausea on. Yeah. But that's all been worked out. The battery life on it is amazing. It has the ability, it has a camera tilt on it that you can set so that you can watch TV on it. You can read without having to hold your head down. You can have the book down, the camera will point down. You can keep your head pointed up and still read. Just watch TV, and they really look. They're still a virtual headset, but they look a lot more like a pair of big sunglasses now than they did even a year ago. But it was so touching to see this guy who uses this, and he's now a coach. When you buy these, you get up to 5 hours of coaching, they said, and he's a coach for people who buy this technology, and it's life-changing. I know it. Yeah, it's amazing. It's I love when tech can do things like that. Right. So, very cool. The last thing we did was go check out a company called Brandenburg Labs. They have been working on spatial audio, right? Just like, Apple has their version of spatial audio. Everybody has their version of spatial audio. Which is amazing. It is amazing. Even Apple's, with the AirPods. Correct. Brandenburg Labs started really digging into this. What's happening with our ears? What are we hearing? How are we doing this? And they created a demo that isn't just a demo. It's being used by people, by engineers, mixing engineers in studios, especially folks that are building like Atmos mixes. But what they had us do was they had a set of speakers, and the best demo that they did was just with stereo speakers. But you could do it with 15 speakers if you wanted. Yeah. They had stereo speakers in the room, and they had us kind of walk around and listen to some audio samples, music, and things like that. And then they had us put headphones on. Now the headphones had motion trackers on them, so that it would know where we were in the room. Which direction you were facing, whether you were high, whether you were low. Yeah, exactly. And 3D motion trackers for these headphones. And it was just in a hotel suite or whatever. I put the headphones on, and they said, just keep doing the same thing, keep walking around. And it's like, okay, this is great. I'm getting a lot of bleed through from the speakers in the room though. And I took my headphones off and realized they had muted
the speakers in the room.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I did the same thing. I had it on, and the first thing I did was pull it off, going, wait a minute.
Yeah. They got mad at me. They're like, no, don't take them off. I'm like, no. I needed to so that I knew what was going on. And I've had a similar experience with Apple's spatial audio when I first used it on an airplane with my iPad. I was convinced that my iPad was, I think somebody's getting a call. No, it's me. It's you. All right. I was convinced that my iPad was, loud in the airplane.
Right.
It was not, but this takes it to a whole other level. It lets it do it with, it's in real time. And it's not something you or I could get right now, but it's great to see that the technology of this spatial audio thing is moving more and more down the road. It's really, it blew me away.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be able to do that with a pair of headphones or even a pair of AirPods for that matter.
Yeah,
you should not be able to pretend that. It was wild. I'm telling you, we were standing there in the room and it would go left high and you could hear sound coming from above you to your left.
Yeah.
And if you turned around and it would say left high, you would actually hear it coming from the right side above you.
Yeah. Right.
Because you had turned around and it was, your left was now right.
Yeah.
And
it's really something else. Really something else. So.
Yeah.
That's what we got for today. In fact, we gotta go because we have to go to our next.
We do. We got about 10 minutes to get out of here.
Yeah, there's no way this show's going to get published before we go to that next event. But it's fine. I'll publish it later tonight. We'll get it out. Yep, get it out.
So thank you everybody for joining us.
Yep.
This is cool. Yeah.
I gotta find my mixer volume here so I can start everything. I really should travel with a portable control surface for the. For this, because then I could fade in the music. See, like that.
Well, there's that.
Gotta bring the band in.
And for the folks at Brandenburg Labs, I think when we were walking out, they said to us,
Lass dich nicht erwischen.
I don't think that's what they said.
Oh, okay.
But if we went back to the Vasco translator folks, they might be able to tell us what that actually meant.
In German, that's don't get caught.
Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. Thanks to our sponsors, of course, for the CES stuff here, carboncopycloner.com/MGG, corecode.io/MGG, and collide.com/MGG. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll be back. We'll do more of these episodes this week, and keep an eye on our YouTube channel so that you can learn about all that stuff too. Pete, what was that they said again? How'd that go?
I think it was
Lass dich nicht erwischen.
Don't get caught.
Made on a Mac.
Later.